Yeah, you mentioned Bolton, the Open. You've been there twice, and this time round, you beat Magnus Carris in what was a very tense first round game, and then you were next up against Peter Wright, the snakebite.
Right.
What was your preparation for that, and do you feel that's been the biggest game of your career so far?
Probably looking back on it now, it was. At the time, on the night, on that Friday night at the Bolton, I didn't really put that much importance to it, to be honest with you. I just tried to, as another night. I remember practicing great. To be honest with you, I thought I'd go on and win. I fancied beating Peter's a fantastic dart player, don't get me wrong. I mean,
and he's hit some really good form.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I don't know. It just didn't click that night. I remember going 2-3-1 down, and I'd missed doubles. I could have been 3-1 up, and then after that, Peter done a professional job. He didn't score his best, but his doubles fantastic. But I remember being more nervous that night for some reason than I was actually on the stage the day before against Magnus. I felt more comfortable then. I don't know whether it was, I had quite a lot of vocal support, and
yeah,
they were a lot nearer on the Friday night. But I remember just not feeling the same as I did the night before. Like I say, I fancied winning. I mean, as I say, Peter's a fantastic player, brilliant bloke, but I know what I'm capable of, and I fancied, even if not winning, giving a good performance of myself. So to get beat the way I did was, it took a couple of days to get over that. Yeah, I was happy that we were playing straight away in Barnsley the next week, because I think if we'd have had a couple of weeks off, I think I'd have been thinking about it a bit too long. So it was good to get back playing again in Barnsley. So
yeah, that's something you can do, is reflect too much on what turned into a bad experience. I mean, on that score, everybody gets beat. It's part of the game. How do you take the defeat and turn it into a positive for yourself?
Blimey, difficult. I hate getting beat more than anyone. I know everybody does, but I'm a bad loser to myself. Not to my opponent. I'll shake their hand and say, well played and good luck, like that. But it really does get to me. If I play well and somebody beats me 6-5 and they play fantastic, I'll say to myself, it was just one of them things. But when you play bad, and you get, sometimes, obviously, winning is what you need to be focusing on. But sometimes I feel better, even though I've lost 6-5 and I've played brilliant, than I do when I've won 6-2 and I've not played very well. If my opponent's not played well as well, I shouldn't do. It should be just a win's a win and that's it. But it's just about you like to play well, and if you don't, it's so frustrating because you put the time and the effort in, and when you don't play well, you're thinking, well, have I done something wrong? Have I got to try something else? Should I do that? Should I not do that? You start doubting yourself. So it's one of them. You can overanalyze your game. Absolutely, yeah.
And that can drag you back.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, obviously, if you have a bad game on the telly, you can maybe watch a replay of it once, and you can say, "Oh, I've done that wrong. I've snatched that," and then you can forget about it. But if you have a bad game on the Pro Tour and then you've not got anything for a couple of weeks, there's no video analysis. You can't look back at it. You can't, and you're thinking, and you're trying to search, well, what did I do wrong? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? So, in a weird way, if you're playing bad there, you don't always find the answers, at least on the TV. I mean, that game against Magnus, as you mentioned before, I mean, it wasn't the best game early on, far as standard-wise from me. I played the one good leg at the end, but I could see, if I was snatching a dart, that it was easier to work out what was going wrong rather than it would be on a Pro Tour event. So, it's difficult sometimes to get your head around things.
Probably that will be something that will come, as I've said earlier, you've only been playing on the PDC Tour for 15 months.
Yeah.
You know, it's still relatively new, and you are extremely young in darting terms, 26.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's something that will come as well, along with the experience of the Pro Tour and how to gear for it and pace yourself over the day.
Oh, that's it. I mean, it's like I said before, it's not just throwing the darts and, you know, you can practice all day and whatever, but it's getting the preparation right. You know, it's preparation before the events and on the dates. It's all a learning curve. I mean, there'll be players there 10, 15 years who are still doing things differently, tweaking them. You know, they're still trying. I mean, as I mentioned before about Phil, you know, he's always trying to improve. Gary Anderson, you know, it's just the way it is. You never know everything, and obviously I certainly don't because I'm only just starting, but nobody does. So there's plenty of room for sorting things out, you know, tweaking preparation, and then the actual days themselves, yeah.
Absolutely, Pete. No, I got your name right that time.
All right, Fred.
There you go. Cheers, pal. Right, you've got yourself a 2-year tour card, and you came through the qualifying school to get that. That was a last day. That was a last day job. How did you feel over the 4 days? And did you have a plan B if you didn't get there?
Not really. No. I think if I hadn't got there, I think it'd have been just go to as many Opens as I could have done and go for the 8 UK Open qualifiers and see if I could have qualified for the UK Open. No, the Q skill was. I was really nervous beforehand, but I had put the work in that couple of weeks. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't been the best practicer. I'm not the best having a throw on my own. I can't, you know, concentration wise, but I mean, I'll practice all day with somebody, you know, if they'll have a game with me. And that 2 weeks before that, I practiced really, you know, full on for it. And like I say, I was nervous. Got there, and the first day I played really good. I had a tough draw, and I had a cracking game at the end against Shane O'Connor, and I got beat 6-4. But I was even though I was disappointed I didn't qualify on the first day, I was up the top of the rankings of the extra places, so I was happy with that. The second day, a couple of good wins again. Like I say, I beat John Anderson, but I was disappointed. I went out the second last round, but again, I was up near the top of the rankings. And then the third day, I went out second or third round. And probably the fourth day was the most nervous. I had everyone telling me that I was already qualified because I was up on the points. I was number one on the points. But to myself, I thought, I don't want to go through on the points. It was the Q school 4 places each day for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have happily accepted a card on the points list, but to me, I needed to get one of the 4 places on the day. And on the last day, I played fantastic. It's probably one of the best days I've played. So, yeah, I tend to do it more when the pressure's on. Really, sometimes when things can seem easy, I tend to lose a bit of concentration, which, you know, I'm trying to work on, and hopefully it'll come with a bit more experience. But I tend to do good when I need to. When I need to deliver the goods. So yeah, last day was a good day. I played well.
Well, being able to play under pressure is a huge bonus for a dart player. Cause we've seen quite a few crumble. You know, even recently at the match play. You know, so hopefully that could well stand you in good stead. But
yeah, I mean, like I say, this, you know, probably the best game at the UK, not in terms of quality wise, but the one that I felt most comfortable with was on the stage against Magnus, and when I needed to play a good leg, I did it the last leg. I mean, this year, when we mentioned before that I beat Gary Anderson and the likes of James Wade, and I mean, this year, I think, when I beat Gary, I was 5-3 down, 1-6-5. I think I beat James twice this year, but one of them, I beat him once this year, I beat him once last year. When I was 5-3 down again, 1-6-5. I think it was 5-3 down to Dennis Smith, 1-6-5, and 5-3 down to Jamie Caven, 1-6-5. So you know, I know I've got that fight, and when it comes to that last leg, I'm not frightened of winning. That's one thing, you know, I'm not frightened of winning. I don't worry about things like that. If they go in, they go in. I never think about missing. So.
Because that is the crucial path, isn't it? Getting that final leg. So many players have worked themselves into the winning position and just can't get themselves home.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's almost like, you know, I'll go to the, you know, I'll go play darts, have a practice with someone, and they'll go, oh, how's he missed that? You know, his bottle's gone. And yeah, sometimes you get nervous, but I think sometimes it's just because you want to win so much, you're just trying too hard. It's not a matter of, oh my God, if I miss this, but you want it so much, you're almost over trying. You know, it's you know, you've got to, under the most pressure, you've got to be your most relaxed in a way, but it's you know, it's difficult. It's not easy to do. That's why, as I said before, the best of the best, they can cope with all the pressure and everything that comes with being a professional dart player, you know.
And that's the experience that again.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, it's experience, and obviously it's winning. If you have good results and you can get over the line 6-5s and you keep it in that winning double, at the end of the day, you know, the next time you're there, you won't be frightened of it. You know, you get used to it. If you keep getting beat 6-5 and you keep missing 10 darts at a double the last leg, you're gonna be frightened of. You know, it's gonna be in your mind, but it's difficult. But
yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I've seen the Pro Tour close hand, and they are extremely difficult events to win.
Oh, absolutely.